Hi, I'm Amy from Cooking with a Full Plate, and I'm here to show you some quick, easy meal prep that you can do to get a nutritious meal on the table at dinner time with no hard work involved. So I have this trusty spiralizer. I know it's a tool that not everyone has. This one is by Ali Mafucci from Inspiralize. I think that's how you say her name. And I love it because it's easy to clean. It makes all different sizes and shapes of noodles, and it gets the most out of the produce that you have. If you don't have that, I also have one of these Veggies. This costs about $60, the freestanding one. This one costs about $10, maybe you can find it for even less, and I'll show you how both of them work so that we can make a quick healthy meal with veggie noodles. So I have two kinds of squash, yellow and green. I bought a huge bag at Costco. You're gonna need more than you think to make a meal for your family. So I have 7 squash here of varying sizes, and I'm gonna save the small ones to use in this handheld device. They work a little bit better, and I'll do the big ones on the spiralizer here, and then I'll show you what I do with them. So on the Inspiralizer, I'm using Blade B, which gives us kind of fettuccine style noodles. You wanna just make sure the machine is locked down via these handy suction cups, and then you basically slide this right in. There's only 2 pieces. It's pretty foolproof. And then I like to put the thick end facing the kind of hole here, and then I screw the rest into here. It doesn't really matter. And then you're just basically holding with one hand this down here, and then turning with the other, and you can see that I am turning out loads of veggie noodles right onto my cutting board. After I'm done making the veggie noodles, these are going to go into a colander with some salt for about an hour to release lots of the liquid from them. I hate when your veggie noodles get all liquidy and they water down whatever sauce you've made. So salting them is gonna help with that, and then also giving them a quick cook and then draining them can help as well if you haven't given yourself the time to actually salt them. I should tell you that I'm not a big fan of one-use tools, but I have found enough uses for this spiralizer, meaning I can use enough different vegetables that it was worth it for me to get one, and it was kind of like a fun little purchase because I knew I'd have space in my kitchen for it. If you're really tight for space, either a small one of these, or you could thinly slice some noodles as well just using your knife if you want to make a nice light grain-free pasta style dish for your family. So you can see I've turned out a bunch of noodles here. I'll show you those. There's even more than that, but this is them. So I'm gonna start putting these into my colander that's just over my sink, mostly just to get them out of the way, and I'll show you the 2 other techniques you can use to make veggie noodles. So if you don't have space or money for a full-blown spiralizer, this is a Veggie, I believe, can be a really nice device. It fits in my drawer and it's nice and easy to hold. I don't find that it does as well with the veggies, meaning I don't get as much out of them. And honestly, even the thick setting is kind of thin, but I'll show you. You can see that I'm just turning it by hand, and you want to press really hard into there while you hold it safely from the sides. My dad, who's the master of getting the most out of what he uses, has a whole technique with a fork to get it in further. Maybe I'll get him to leave that technique in the comments, but I just sort of accept that I'm not going to get everything out of this because I like my fingers, and I'm going to set aside the pieces that I can't use the rest of, and I'll just slice that up and put it in something else. So it's not really going to waste, it's just not going to noodles. And you can see this is what I get out of the handheld spiralizer. I'm gonna throw those in the colander as well. The final technique you can use to make veggie noodles is a good old-fashioned way of using a knife and a cutting board, which hopefully you all have at home. If you don't, run, don't walk to get one of these. It's the only way that you can cook, and it's the most important tool you'll have. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of slice them thinly lengthwise. Honestly, if you're gonna make veggie noodles with any regularity, you're gonna get a lot better result using a tool that's created for that. But if you're just testing it out, you wanna see if your kids or your family are gonna like this in the first place, then I recommend trying this, which is slicing really thinly. I'm really bad at measurements, but maybe a 1/4 inch thick slices. And then you're gonna go the long way and just slice them like noodles. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And we're gonna do the same thing, just throw them in the colander with the other noodles, add some salt, and let them dissolve a little bit so you can see what those veggie noodles are gonna look like right there.